I just listened to Uber's complete 48 minutes Q2 2023 earnings call. And as a driver and courier myself, yes, there's some shocking things in this directly from CEO Dara Khosrowshahi that are directly regarding your earnings. I'm just going to jump into about 26 minutes into this call for one of the biggest standout moments that you're going to want to hear about. So Khosrowshahi, when asked about upfront pricing, this was on the mobility side, but obviously we can translate some of this to Uber Eats as well. Now, talking about that upfront pricing, Khosrowshahi said, we need to get drivers as much information as possible to make basically a smart decision so they can accept or decline that route. Now that makes sense, right? And Khosrowshahi cited all this info they have on acceptance rate to really make sense of that. So they can see the metrics. Hey, if this offer tab isn't working, if it's causing drivers to really not accept any runs, or if what we teach you here, the dollars to mile ratio, all of this, basically, the numbers don't make sense. They can see all those metrics clearly. Now, Khosrowshahi said they can offer drivers more on that upfront order card if it's, let's say, a further away pickup. So a 10-minute pickup versus a 2-minute pickup. That makes sense because you always want to make sure the numbers for you as a driver or a courier make sense. But he continued saying that they can improve on that upfront pricing and algorithmically, because machine learning was mentioned several times during this call, Uber should do something where they should offer more of an upfront pay to you, the driver or courier, if let's say you're taking a delivery or a run out in the suburbs. He used that as an example. So when you're going to the suburbs, it's less likely you'll get a trip back, or you'll just have to deadhead miles back without an assignment basically. So because of that, Uber should adjust their algorithm on the upfront price to pay you more. Next big standout is something that I've been tracking for at least 3 or 4 quarters now. I've been telling you this is coming on DoorDash, here on Uber obviously. That is new verticals, grocery, convenience, and the like. And it's so much so a big deal that Uber posted about it in their supplementary info. Strong progress on grocery and new vertical product experience contributing to delivery growth. So look here, launch and expanded retail specific features. Now, I'm going to tie that in actually to a question that Khosrowshahi was asked again about ad spend. And now that I'm remembering, Uber really proudly announced their first ever GAAP operating profits ever in this quarter. But Khosrowshahi was asked about ad spend. So what are SMBs, small to medium businesses, CPGs, consumer packaged goods? I know there's a lot of algorithms here, and more as far as enterprise customers, like high-end customers like Apple. All of their ad spend, you can see that right here. So the company is going to 100% continue to focus on these new verticals. It's grocery, it's convenience, it's alcohol, and retail deliveries. Continuing, the company's launching group grocery products globally, continuing to leverage the grocery platforms. So for instance, here's an example of the group grocery option. So being asked about new verticals in groceries, Khosrowshahi cited initially convenience, the smaller basket sizes, $20 to $30, was their first penetration into new verticals. DoorDash basically did the same thing with Dash Marts and convenience runs for you, the couriers. Now they're really focused, Uber now is more focused on the grocery and larger basket sizes. So instead of $20 to $30, we can think of those weekly orders of what? 50, 100, 150 plus dollar basket sizes for grocery runs. And I guarantee you've seen this if you're a driver on DoorDash or Uber Eats, is add-on orders. Khosrowshahi citing that's one of the biggest areas of opportunity and growth right now in this new vertical section. So imagine you're ordering takeout, like food, right? Delivery. They're going to offer you an add-on order, and DoorDash already does this, for a convenience run. Now for you, the courier, obviously you have restaurant pickup A, right? Now after that, you're going to bump over to the, let's say 7-Eleven for the convenience run. Now with that, obviously there's going to be more pay. So if I can do a convenience add-on for $5, it's already going to be pulled for you. That could be easy money. Obviously, looking at the other side of this thing, you need to make sure that the money makes sense. And as long as this isn't a forced add-on, like, hey, a new stop's been added to your run, just look at the numbers because yes, it could be an easy add-on for you. Continuing with grocery and new vertical deliveries, the company is going to continue to add new retailers. So if there's a grocery store or even other retail stores that are close by, it'd be an easy pickup for you. Again, granted that the numbers make sense, then what wasn't on the Uber platform might be on the Uber platform. Now, this also reminds me of something that Khosrow Shahi was also asked during this call. That's market saturation in the restaurant space. Yeah, they don't have the market share like DoorDash, but Khosrow Shahi said that the market penetration, even in developed markets, is only 20 to 40% of restaurants wired, that's what he said, wired on the platform already. So apparently there's still plenty of options to sign up new restaurants. Moving back to Rideshare, Khosrow Shahi again commenting on that machine learning and AI algorithms, that Uber doesn't want to offer passengers a, let's say, new ride option whenever their algorithm knows, hey, you're just going on your morning commute. But if it's another time when you don't normally use an Uber product, then you might get a more experimental reserve ride or different ride options in addition to the cross-selling with, let's say, delivery. Something that's always been a focus of Uber and DoorDash, frankly, are the memberships. So Uber One, those customers, while it's a lesser margin because they have to offer those members benefits, discounts, incentives, the margin's smaller, but the ad spend is 4 times more than a non-member. Now, how does that make sense for you as a courier? If someone in your marketplace, more and more members are signing up there, they're staying on the platform. And typically, I would imagine they're more predictable orders. They're consistent orders. Hey, I order on every Tuesday for lunch, or I order every day for lunch, versus the more casual consumer that doesn't sign up for Uber One. They're not invested in that monthly cost. They're not getting any discounts. So it's going to be less predictable order flow. Now, one vertical that competitor Lyft is basically out of in this market space is the shared rides vertical. And that with now Uber X Share, they've done this before with Uber Pool, but it's a little bit different. Uber X Share is actually expanding to 50 new marketplaces. But on the overall landscape of mobility, rideshare, Khosrow Shahi did say that Lyft's pricing is competitive. So next steps for you, either on the mobility rideshare side or what used to just be food delivery, that's now just the courier side, we'll say, with retail, convenience, grocery, all of that. So with rideshare, obviously, if you're just on Lyft for some reason, sign up for Uber just to see. We're going to see the continued expansion of Uber X Share. I don't think that's going to be, it shouldn't be the main rides that you're taking there. Also, look for the possible betterment and expansion of the upfront pricing with that machine learning that we talked about, giving you hopefully better pay for a farther pickup which was still an idea apparently, but better upfront pay for an ending destination that's not as attractive. I still think there's better earnings opportunities on the courier side. Both could be good, but I think you're going to drive less miles. And like DoorDash is doing the same thing. These companies know there's an opportunity in this delivery space that's non-restaurant, grocery, convenience, parcel, whatever it is. Mobility is fine. Okay. It's a staple. It's been there. Certainly you can check it out. But what new earnings options really are there on rideshare other than the improved order card that we talked about, the upfront pricing, which is good, but being able to choose different pickup and drop off styles entirely on the courier side, I think that's more attractive. And then obviously we have the convenience of just delivering stuff versus having to transport the passenger, the customer service, and the safety side with the mobility side.